Good morning to everybody. I know this is a face you haven't seen in a long time, but they call me the Boss B. And this is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. You're watching the Sunday Rise. Good to be back. And I might not have been here, but I've been behind the scenes. I've been watching all the shows. And I just want to start off saying thank everybody for your support. Thanks for watching the shows, whether it's Drive Time with Matty Ice, the Tuesday night fight, Thursday throwdown in the passenger seat with Gentleman Jack, the WrestleManiacs on Saturday night. We couldn't be here without you guys, and we appreciate it. Now, the main thing on Sundays is early, so I'm catching you before you leave the house, and we're gonna just gently pass the collection plate around. I'm getting you before you leave the house. It's 11 o'clock. Ain't nobody left the house yet. Pass the collection plate around. We like the type of money that folds. If it jingles, I might have to charge you a fee because then I got to go to Coinstar and that's a whole mess. I don't want to do all that. Fold it up, put it in the collection plate, pass it to the next person. Okay, that's all we. That's all we looking for. That's all we're looking for. Help us, help you, help you. That's all we're asking. So, with that being said, of course, yeah, I got people with me. I got the crew with me. I got the gentleman Jack Carr and the host, the behind the scenes guy, the producer extraordinaire, Dreadhead don't care, the big guy KG. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. The champion, the champ, the big guy KG. I'm so sorry. Gentlemen, good morning. How y'all doing?
I'm good. I'm doing
Oh,
well.
after last night, I am doing well. We celebrated the Nubian Sumo's birthday on the show, put him on the big screen, but I had to take him down in the picks to become champion once again.
Man, look,
So,
I saw that picture. I was like, oh, it's trouble brewing in Cincinnati, baby. I don't know who in Cincinnati, but it's trouble brewing in Cincinnati, though. But congrats on the pick champ, big guy KG. I know that's going to be I know that belt's going to be shown off a lot over the next
oh yeah, you're gonna see it quite
oh
often.
that's what I figured.
In
That is
fact, I
what I
ran
figured.
all day today.
Hey, look, yeah, I mean, look, I got the JBL boombox speaker. I can walk behind you. Every time you go in somewhere, we can play some interest music. I mean, that's only right.
It's only right.
It's only right to do so.
Okay.
So look, I haven't been on here in a while, and I just want to take some time. We're gonna lead off with it. We're gonna do a little boss report. Um, when did Matty Ice hop on the scene? Well, how long has it been? Has it been 6 months? Five, four? How long has he been on? When was his first show?
Shoot, was it January?
It's probably been, no, I don't think it was that soon. I thought it was more like March.
Okay.
Nah, he was
W-
he was up before March. He
I
was
Was
up
thought
it?
he
before the
was.
baseball season started.
I thought he was. Maybe we'll say
Okay.
February. If Matty Ice come on, I should have asked him. But I mean, but Drive Time is a success, and I'm so glad that Matty agreed to do it because his show is phenomenal. I love his show. Of course, Jack in the passenger seat, one of the premier interview sports shows in the DMV. You got to see it. But gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we got something else coming to the Sideline Junkies podcast network. I'm not going to tell you who. I'll tell you where and when. It'll be Monday, June 23rd, 7 p.m., maybe 7:30, and a new era begins. A new era begins, and all week that's your hint right there, Coach. And if you're into colors, it's another hint in that color scheme, and that's all I'm gonna say. And I'm excited for it. We're gonna tease it. We got 2 weeks. 2 weeks and a day to June 23rd, and it's going to be a hit. I already know it's going to be a hit because that particular person is passionate about sports, and not only passionate about sports, family man, God fearing, you name it, what you want, a man, leader. That's what we getting on the Sideline Junkies podcast network. I'm excited for it, guys. We got another good one coming, and I will continue to do some ball squares. We got some other things coming and brewing and stuff that will roll out slowly but surely. But June 23rd, you got a new show coming on Monday evening. So Matty Ice is gonna get you home Monday during rush hour. You listen to Matty Ice and one of the most beautiful radio voices in the world. You listen to that, bring you home, and then when you get home and you put the pot roast on, cut the carrots and potatoes and stuff up, you turn on the coach. And that's going to end your evening. And we got you on Mondays. I'm telling you, we got you covered on Mondays. Fellas, what you think?
Sounds like a plan.
Sound like money to me.
That's all I want to hear. We missing the main rap, the Midnight Rider somewhere. The last report I got from Midnight Rider, he was on a telephone pole trying to tie some copper wires together so he can get some internet. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
That's because his he had two gerbils, was trying to get a third, but the third one ran away.
But see, the thing is, he's not taking care of the gerbils. Gerbils, for the internet we need, the broadband we need, they need a certain diet. And the water bowl can't have Colt 45 in it. That's all I'm saying.
No.
That, you know what I'm saying? You only gonna get a week out of those gerbils. So, gerbils get expensive. So if you don't take care of them, and have them rotating, running the wheel, then this is what happens. Now you got to run on the wheel, and you can't run on the wheel and do a show at the same time. It's just it's not gonna work.
I don't like sharing my Colt 45 with them gerbils. So.
Yeah, that too. That too. I mean, you crack open a nice cold one. The last thing I want to do is pour it in the gerbil bowl, So, but that's all I got for the Boss Report. I just want to start off with that and let you guys know. It's just exciting news. I don't want to get to the end of the show, and I thought we'd lead off with that. So, without further ado, where are we starting at today?
I agree with you, BJ. Let me add a tad bit.
Absolutely.
Also today, there will be boxing in Prince George's County, Maryland. We're going to be going down. There's going to be boxing in Oxon Hill at the Rosecroft Raceway, folks. So if everybody wants to come on out, support your boys. We'll be out there getting some airtime, some face time. It's going to be the Junior Olympic qualifiers. So these are the young men that are, aspiring to be Junior Olympians.
Cool.
So let's go on up there to Rosecroft Raceway, Oxon Hill, Maryland. Starts at 1 p.m. and it goes all night long. They talking about 30 fights on the card. I heard through the rumor mill that the Sideline Junkies should be posting up around 3 p.m. So any of the junkie fans want to come on out, man, see some good boxing, $25. Check out the whole day, man. Come out there and check your boys out. Support us. Support the Junior Olympic boxing qualifiers as well. Look like it's going to be a good day besides the weather. Supposed to be a little rainy this afternoon, fellas, but I think we'll be all right.
A little rain ain't never hurt nobody. KG, we had to make sure he got the umbrella because he'll melt.
Yeah.
He'll melt. He'll start melting a little bit. Little chocolate drops will start coming off. And when the chocolate drops are falling, they start crying. The chocolate drops got tears on them, falling off of him. They're like, no, we can't, no. We don't want to leave you, no.
Well,
Maddie, if I see you in the comments. When did your show start? Was it February?
And Maddie said 2 shows on a Monday will be awesome. It will
be,
be,
man. It definitely will be. Like it definitely will be. I can't wait for it. We got 2 weeks to prepare for it, so it's going to be I'm telling you, it's going to change a lot of things. I'm stuttering and tiptoeing because I don't want to give too much away. But this particular area has been lacking coverage on, certain things for a long time, and I love what Jack's doing because Jack's going, he has local people and giving them a spotlight, talking to them, and you get to hear their stories and how they got to where they are, and that's a big part of what this is also, and I think it's going to give a platform to something that otherwise is in the dark in PG County and January or February. That's what we thought, Maddie. And I would just, like, I'm so glad you decided to make that move because I call you the Mr. Radio voice. Mr. Radio voice. Matty Ice. I'm old. I don't remember stuff. Hey, look, I get it. 'Cause we don't remember either. If somebody had said October, I'd be like, yep, he been on since October. But I know that ain't the case. But anywho, yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna I'm telling y'all just sit back and we haven't disappointed yet on the Sideline Junkie Podcast Network. We ain't gonna start. We gonna be good.
So it's BJ. It's my show that's been since October. October 19th was my first show.
Oh, really? I just threw October out.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. I thought you've been going longer than that on in the passing sheet, Jack.
That's a pretty long time, bro. That's
it wasn't because when we got to the beginning of the year, you were saying you was like on your 18th. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep. Yeah, and it's getting to a point where Jack got to take 2 time slots to get these interviews done. Maybe it's rolling, and I hope it's rolling. Hope it's rolling
for the request sheet in for Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
See, look,
I'm just playing.
Look, in the passing seat start taking over like that, man. Look, we just gonna be like, all right, look. Now, Jack gonna have the keys in the limo. The black Lincolns, KG. We guard those keys. And now the black Lincoln show up when we start talking NHL. I see a black Lincoln ride past Matty Ice in it. Like, that's my territory. Don't start stepping on that. And black Lincolns roll up. I'm telling you that just back off. You see the black Lincolns, out of state plates. You want to go somewhere else, okay? You don't want to see them show up. But anyway, I done ran my mouth for 13 minutes. Let's get into some sports, guys. We got some things to talk about. What do y'all want to start at?
Well, let's start with this real quick because it's actually going on live right now, and some guy named Ben Conti. Thank you for joining us, man. He says he loves the show. I don't know where you're listening from, but I'm glad you're listening. Thank you.
Listening 20 feet in the air, trying to splice wires together to get internet working. That's where we're listening from.
The French Open is the men's championship is going on right now. Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz are going at it in the second set. It's tied at 5 right now, 15-love. Sinner won the first set 6-4, and as I said, they're tied at 5, so their championship is going on right now. The women's was yesterday. Ariana Zabalenka lost to Coco Gauff 7-6, 6-2, 6-4. And Coco Gauff wins the French Open. Some controversy is coming out about that because Sabalenka says Coco won the match, not because she played incredible, just because I made all those mistakes. I'm going to say this, and I'm being 100% honest. I don't care who you are. One thing I learned from Joe Gibbs is you win with style, but you lose with class. You give credit where credit is due. Don't take away from somebody else's accomplishment with a snide remark like that. I think that was Bush League. I think that was a cheap shot. But gentlemen, I don't know how much French Open that you kept up with, but what you got?
No, I just want to piggyback off of that. I agree 100%. Even if you feel like that, even if you feel like you were the better person, you're the better player, wherever it is, um, you have to, like the big guy say, leave with style and grace. And I think for her to say that is just distasteful. I mean, we're talking about she won the first at 7-6, and then Coco beat her 6-2, 6-4. And she said it was a bunch of errors. That sound like Coco just did her thing, and it's okay to. You're not going to win all the time. We had to. A lot of us had to learn that at a young age. But you got to take your losses gracefully, and this is setting up for a little rivalry. I don't know if Coco ever responded to that, and she doesn't have to because she's holding the French Open trophy, singles trophy. So I think this will be some media fireworks the next time they meet. But we'll see if what is her name? Sabalenka?
Sablinka.
Sablinka, we'll see if what she's saying reigns true in her next tournament, and if she's maybe she fixes her errors, and maybe she proves everybody wrong and goes on to dominate for the next couple of years. But if she disappears into the abyss, then it's definitely sour grapes. So it'd be interesting to see. But congratulations to Miss Coco Gauff, though.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I tell you, these two are going to match up plenty of times in the future. I think they are going to be the 1-2s and possibly switch positions here in the future. But these two are going to match up quite a bit. Sablinka, she was shook up, man. She got shook in that second set, and I don't know whether it was miscommunication with her coaches or what it was, but the way she was acting seemed a little bit a mess. Um, didn't seem too professional, and I've seen her play several times. She's a incredible tennis player. Uh, Coco just kept everything in order and handled her business. Didn't let that 7-6 get to her. But these two will be competing for time to come. So it's not the last matchup you've seen between these two. Congratulations to Coco. I believe that's her second major she has won right there. So big congrats to her. Mute monster, mute monster.
Not 100% sure about that, Jack, but Coco has, at this age right that she's at now, she's 21. She has the same accolades that Serena Williams had at 21. And she's
I'm
on
gonna
like
do
the
my
same path.
I'm gonna do my Peter Griffin to you. Whoa, 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 whoa,
Wow.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Serena Williams is a big name to bring up, but I understand if she's that where she is, she got a lot to go for. Serena Williams. We were just one of the last times on, we were just talking about tennis and the baton being passed, and I think we were speaking on it not really being a leader of on the women's side as far as who's the dominant. I think it's like I think you got your favorites, but it's kind of like out of them favorites, you flip a coin. It's not Serena. This is Serena's tournament to lose. This is Venus' tournament to lose. This is Steffi Graf's tournament to lose. So it's gonna be interesting to see. But like I say, man, I don't. Congratulations to her, but you and your Serena Williams. No, hold on a second there.
Yeah, he jumping the gun a little bit. But yes,
Well, I'm
Coco
just
Gauff
saying.
has 2 majors and 10 singles titles total.
Okay, okay.
I'm
Now,
just saying.
how old is she? How old is she?
21?
Okay.
21?
Okay. Cool.
Ben Conti checks in 5 favorite junkies: Midnight Rider, Midnight Rider, Midnight Rider, Midnight Rider, and Midnight Rider, because they spit hot fire, son.
We don't even like that guy.
Maddie said U.S. women's tennis has taken a nice turn with some great players to take the throne from the Williams sisters, but damn, the men's side is still a dumpster fire.
Mm-hmm.
Andre Agassi is not walking through that door. Michael Chang is not walking through that door. Rafael Nadal is not walking through that door. And Djokovic, he lost, what was that, in the quarterfinals?
Yes.
So, but man. Next up, let's jump into a little NBA. We had game 1 of the finals. What was this? This was Thursday. I don't like this whole thing from Thursday to Sunday. I don't like how they got this gap, and we're playing in the same city. We could have played again on Saturday, but
Amen.
I understand Sunday primetime slot. You don't want to go up against WWE on Saturday night. So the Pacers take game 1, 111 to 110. Pascal Siakam gave you a double-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds. Aaron Nesmith, double-double, 10 points, 12 rebounds. Miles Turner gave you 15 and 9. The Halle Band, Tyrese Halliburton, 14 and 10. Nembhard gave you 14. Toppin gave you 17. McConnell 9. That was the extent of the big score. For the Thunder, nope, don't want that. I don't want that. I want this. Give me that. Dort gave you 15, 17 from Williams. Holmgren only gave you 6 and 6 boards. SGA gave you a hot 38. Carson Wallace gave you 6. Alex Caruso gave you 11. Hartenstein gave you 9. As far as team stats, Pacers shot 47% from the floor, 46 from behind the arc, 71% from the line.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder shot 39% from the floor, 36 from behind the arc, and 87% from behind the line. I'm sorry, from the charity stripe. Rebounding total. Massive, massive, massive problem. Pacers 56, Thunder 39.
Mm-hmm.
But the Pacers had 24 turnovers compared to 6 turnovers by the Thunder. And points in the paint, the Thunder had 46. The Pacers had 34. Fellas, what was your thoughts on game 1?
Well, game 1 went pretty much the way I thought it was going to go. Tell you what, trip out late in the fourth, not late in the fourth, let's just say in the fourth, OKC was up, 15, 17. So your man here, the Gentleman Jack, decided to get on up into his sports betting app and throw $10 on Indiana to come back. Damn, if they didn't come back, JC had a fat $230 on that jump. So, they just can score all over the place, and they showed that. They out-rebounded OKC. That's not supposed to be the way it goes. OKC is supposed to be this dominant, tall, rebounding machine, but Indy just dominated them on the boards, as KG said. 56 for Indiana, 39. That's 17 more rebounds. And on the offensive side, it's pretty close there, but just 17 more rebounds, period, for Indiana. That's gonna get you in any game, and that's what they did. Indiana hung within striking distance the whole game. They wouldn't let it get too big. And then when time came, man, they did what they've been doing throughout this playoffs, and that is come back from a large deficit to win it late in the game. That's the kind of team this Indiana team is. Hustling, scrapping, we're always in the game type of team. OKC, best team in the league is what has been said all year round. So, like I say, I'm still Indy in 6. Holmgren's got to give you more. Turner's got to give you more. It just wasn't enough of a team effort by OKC to handle a team like Indy. BJ, how'd you see this game?
You know what? It was interesting because I felt like because I guess because people see OKC as they got tall, they got the height and stuff. I see them as a what do you call it, a volume rebound team because they shoot so much. I think the Pacers are more of a traditional rebound, and I think that's why they out rebounded OKC. I expect more of that to go on the rest of the series. If I'm OKC, I'm a little worried because Halliburton only had 14 points, and they still staged that comeback. And of course, he hits the go ahead with zero point 0.3 seconds left. People are making a big deal out of this. This is the lowest rated Game 1 NBA Finals since Nelson started keeping the stats in '88.
Was it?
And unfortunately, it's one of those things that you don't see the Lakers in there, you don't see Boston in there, you don't see the Heat in there, you don't see the normal suspects in there. But I think if you're a fan of basketball, this excites you because now you get to see a new champ. You get to see teams that haven't been there. You get to see players that haven't been there. This is something we talked about before too. You see it more in today's NBA. That collapse, that 15, 20-point collapse. But the crazy thing is, if memory serves, the Pacers didn't rain a lot of threes. It was like Jack said, it was a methodical comeback. It was just defense. It was quick buckets, and OKC couldn't really get going. The last couple of minutes, they couldn't really find a basket. So it's crazy that you see a lot of this happen, but usually it's the other way around where the other team gets hot from beyond the arc. They hit 3 or 4 3-pointers, and now they all of a sudden now the kid from Indiana, I think he did hit. Did he hit 2 or 3 of them?
Nimhard?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he got hot.
But yeah, they out rebounded. It seemed like they just out hustled. They played their game. And when you play your game, and you don't even play 100% of your game, like I said, you play your game, and Halliburton only has 14 points. If Halliburton comes in and put some buckets in, and they still play their game, I don't know. SGA had 38 points, so it's just I know you said Holmgren didn't have a good game, but it's going to be interesting to see. I think this is 7 games. I think this is going to be a dogfight because you have 2 inexperienced teams in the finals. You have the Pacers that proved over the whole playoffs that they can come back from a deficit against any team. They've done it. They did it against Cleveland. They did it against New York. And they just did it against OKC. So this is interesting, man. I want the Pacers to win, just like personally, but I think this is a 7-game series. I need to go to the BetMGM app and put some money on some things. It's very interesting also that OKC only had 6 turnovers to what the Pacers had and still lost that game. It's a lot of things that's going against the grain that it's just like usually that leads to a win for OKC, but guys, I'm taking the Pacers in 7. I'm taking the Pacers in 7. I just got a feeling. OKC, I know they can score out of the gym, but I don't think they're going to do that against the Pacers. I just think the Pacers, the way they play defense, who they got under the rim, Siakam, he won Eastern Conference Finals MVP for a reason. I think you see it now a lot more, and he's going to be key. So right now, I'm gonna take the Pacers in 7, but like I said, we get to see him again. What time the game come on tonight, big guy?
8 o'clock, I believe.
It's 8 o'clock.
8 p.m.
8 p.m. All right, yeah, we'll see tonight. I'll be somewhere watching it. But what about you, big guy? What you think?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think the Pacers have an advantage over the Thunder, because one thing that the Pacers have that the Thunder don't have, the catalyst. They have a coach with championship experience as a player and as a coach. Rick Carlisle was probably on one. He was on one of some might say arguably the greatest team ever formed, the '86 Celtics. Won a championship Larry Bird's cool friend. He was Larry Bird's assistant from 97 to 2000 in Indiana. So he was on that Indiana team that went to the finals in 2000. He helped build that Pistons team that won in 2004. He was fired the year before in favor of Larry Brown. He won in 2011 with the Mavericks, which is probably the most organic playoff run of a superstar that we've seen in recent years. Now he's back in Indiana to do it all over again. He's going to keep them cats calm. He's going to keep them poised. I'm going to go ahead and be honest and say Indiana in 5. So that's what I'm saying. Indiana in 5 with that one. Gentlemen sweep.
I did.
Now, here's something else that's coming out, and I sent it to you guys because I was joking, but I didn't know it. It's people that are supporters of the original Seattle Supersonics teams that don't want Oklahoma City to win this. They like, we rooting for Indiana. We don't want Oklahoma to win anything. They stole our team. Like, people are actually upset.
I mean, you can only speak for that if you've been in their shoes and you lost your team to another city. So I can't speak for them. I can sympathize. I kind of understand when you get something that's been a mainstay ripped from underneath you, you know. But let me. I got some interesting stats I didn't know. I thought for some reason I thought OKC were higher in points per game than Indiana, but they're 2-3. Indiana's 117. This is regular season, 117 a game. OKC is 116 a game. The Pacers is number 1 in assists per game, 27.8. Number 1 in field goal percentage, 49.6. Number 1 in 3-pointers made, 232. The next closest team is number 2, Oklahoma City Thunder at 212. 3-point percentage, 40.5. Number 1 by a long shot. The number 2 team is the Bucks at 37.9. So I think I don't know. It just seems like I guess OKC is flashier. Is that I guess that's what it is? Because it didn't seem like Indiana. I mean, they're solid all the way around. I was surprised. I thought Oklahoma was higher in points per game than what they were. But I'm reading these stats, and Indiana's all over the place in these team stats, and I might have to drop it. I might have to, Jack. I might have to side with you. I might have to do Indy in 6. Matter of fact, let me open up MG and bet. I got some things to put in.
That's what's up.
Yeah, give me Indy in 6. I not doubting them, but I just thought their pace, the way they play, wouldn't keep up with Oklahoma City. But I was proven wrong in game 1. I know they had to come back, so we'll see. I think OKC will definitely be ready for them. But Indy can definitely put the chokehold on them if they take this game. Okay, is it 3-2-3-2? What is it? How's the finals?
2-3-2, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, so they got three games in Indiana?
Hold on.
They went 2-2-1-1-1.
No. It's 2-2-1-1-1.
Oh, it's 2-2-1-1? Okay.
I hate that.
I prefer that.
That's kind of rough on the body.
Them three games are a chokehold. You know, that can, you know, that's, you get 3 home games and you're the away team. That's nah. Nah, 3 home games. You got to be in somebody's city for 3 games. Nah. So,
a couple of comments real quick. We were talking about the French Open earlier. This guy Ben Conti, he says Carlos Alcaraz is the now. I can see that. Matty Ice said OKC let Indiana hang around and then found out. Indiana plays like a team. Love watching them play. Midnight Rider said I had the Allen Iverson game 1 feeling. Indy stole one, but I could see this being a Piston-like run. He also said two teams, first finals game, nerves played into this. Obi Toppin hitting 5 threes. OKC couldn't hit water if it fell out of a boat. And Lee Ice said 2 young teams is going to come down to coaching. The Pacers had the more experienced coach. I said, just said Pacers in 5. Hey, I'm with Lee Ice all the way. All the way.
And Lee Ice and whoever that Ben Conti guy, their echo is you get 2 inexperienced finals teams. You don't have a team that's like Boston or LA that's been there, or Miami. The players that have been there, they can you're going to see these teams make mistakes. You're going to, it's not going to be, I don't want to say polished, because I think that's the wrong word for it. But I think if you enjoy basketball, you'll enjoy seeing this process work out. I mean, Siakam has championship experience, so I'm pretty sure there's a couple players on. I don't know does OKC have any players that have championship experience?
One. Caruso.
Okay.
Caruso.
So it's Caruso on one side and Noah Siakam on Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody else on Indiana has it, but I think if like I said, if you enjoy ball, you're going to enjoy this process of watching these 2 teams fight it out. There is, you know what I'm saying? They have to get it from the mud. There is no championship pedigree, championship experience. And I love it. I'm gonna be here for it. So, yeah. You know what, guys? I'm sorry to say this. Like, I'm really thinking about like this Ben Conti guy. I'm really thinking about like dropping the Midnight Rider and adding this Ben Conti guy to the show, because like I love the comments, man. And he's active in the comments. He got working internet. You know what I'm saying? Like this, Matter of fact, let me go make some billboards for this Ben Conti guy.
Straight money.
We bring him on in like a big fanfare, with some intro music and stuff. KG, we got some more comments.
Yeah, Matty Ice said the fact that NBA finals and the NHL finals bit struggling with the ratings and neither played on Saturday night is some kind of stupid too. I think that you should have put the NHL the Stanley Cup finals on Saturday night. That should have been Saturday night, because the finals always is a Sunday night thing. That's how you end your week. Sunday, Tuesday, you might get a Friday. But see, you got 2 games. So you go Sunday, or you go normally the finals used to start on Sunday night. Starting the finals on a Thursday night, it just seems awkward to me. The finals used to start on a Sunday night. Game 1 of the finals is always 8 o'clock, 8:30 on a Sunday night. Of course, you got to see game 1 of the Bulls and MJ hitting game winners on Sunday night. And then you go to bed, you go to school the next day, you're like, yep, we about to win another one. Then you get the 2 games during the week, and one of them may be a Friday night, and then you got the travel day, and then you come back on Sunday again. But the finals used to be dominated towards nights of the week where they weren't up against anything, so you knew you were going to watch the finals. And I had reservations about this finals anyway. I said, you got 2 small market teams in the Thunder and the Pacers. Is anybody really going to watch? And of course, you got people, talking heads on the TV. Oh, Adam Silver, you're really messed up for this because this is your fault and nobody's going to watch this finals. Adam Silver didn't say, hey, let me put these 2 teams in the finals. These are the 2 teams that earn their way there. If you don't like ball, say you don't like ball. Because they said that the finals, they said that the Spurs Nets finals was trash, but that was actually a good finals. You had 2 exciting teams playing each other. People watched it. This is what basketball needs to be back to.
That's why I like this matchup right here. It's 2 new teams. It's new blood.
Yep.
They're both exciting. Pretty young. I don't know, man. If people don't like this because of the market or whatever else you want to say it, turn because it's good basketball between two
Absolutely.
nice young teams.
Absolutely.
That's what I like about it as a basketball
Absolutely.
fan.
And this is if it is a market thing, this is the NBA's fault. It's the NBA's fault because there's no reason now where you are in 2025 with the amount of social media and everything else that you have an instance where small market team. No, you like did y'all? I mean, if you watching glimpse at the game, did you see the OKC crowd? Did you see the people there? All right. I mean,
Wow.
they're gonna be there for Indiana. So the people in Oklahoma City and the people in Indiana, they don't care what you're saying because they're gonna show out for their team. It's gonna be sold out. You know, one of the cool things when Halliburton hit that shot, you see the 6 people in Indiana jerseys jumping in the crowd. That is a cold moment. When you see that type of thing happen. That's something I wanted to bring up because I had my eyes on them the whole game because you're watching them when they're down. But like Jack said, I've said, the big guy KG said, Lee I said in the comments, this guy Ben Conti in the comments, everybody said it. New blood, 2 young teams. They don't have the pedigree of being in the finals. And sit back and enjoy this. Sit back and watch how this progresses. I think you're gonna enjoy this. Like you can't cry for diversity and I'm tired of seeing LA and I'm tired of seeing Boston and I'm tired of seeing the Spurs and I'm tired of seeing. All right, we here now. Turn the TV on. Turn the TV on and watch. It's good basketball. I mean, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a very entertaining series. It's going to be a hell of a series the next however many games it goes. But guys, we need to move on.
Of course, Ben Conti, this kid is just on fire today. If you like basketball, you'll watch the finals. He loves the LOL. I know what that was the LOL about. And he said casuals watch for the names and the brands. That's the key word, casuals. Maddie said,
and that's a word. That's a word big guy KG hate. I know he hates that word.
Yeah, because it's always whenever you bring up facts. Oh, you're just a casual. You don't watch the NBA. I've been watching the NBA longer than most of these talking heads have been alive. And then if you take back the archival footage that I had to watch of the NBA, the NFL, even MLB at certain points, I can tell you more about the game than you know. Some people are not qualified to be in an argument with me. Get your weight up before you talk to me. Matty Ice said everyone just wants to bitch. If it was New York or Boston versus LA, it would be we are so sick of seeing this. Now got 2 similar markets, people still bitching. Yeah, they gonna do that regardless.
They just want to bitch. They just want to find something to complain about. But people that enjoy us, like everybody's talking here, we're going to sit and watch and enjoy this series. That's what it is.
True that.
And before we get off of basketball, let me say this. Yesterday, I talk about it a lot. The spring/summer of '93, I talk about it a lot. Yesterday marked 33 years since we lost the maestro of basketball in Drazen Petrovic. And I'm just going to be short with it. Go watch some Petrovic highlights. And that's how you can know how good he really was and what he was getting ready to do. So listen to how his peers talk about him as a player. Absolute monster. So let's switch gears. Get off in some NHL. The Panthers come back. Tie this thing up at 5-4 over the Oilers in 2 overtimes. Double OT. Jack, I know you got something on this because come on.
Before you throw it to Jack, y'all be careful because I got the black link and it's hooked to my phone and it just started up. And I know that's Matty Ice. Don't dive into this NHL too much, okay? I'm just warning y'all. All right? Matty got the black leather driving gloves, the little hat. I heard, and I don't know, I can't confirm this. I heard Matty Ice might have a shasty on. So just be careful, okay? All right? Jack, it's on you.
Oh, thank you, BJ. Jeez. I didn't need that boost. I didn't. Some bitch. Oh man, you can't beat it, man. Game one goes to overtime. Game two goes to double overtime. I mean, it's the best of the best in the NHL playing right here. They came out gangbusters, man. You had 5 goals in the first period, with Edmonton up 3-2 after the first period. So I tell you, Florida just decided, hey, we're gonna make this a game here, and then, like I say, it comes down to overtimes. This is Stanley Cup Finals at its best. If you can get the first 2 games to go OT, so we're 1-1 here. I don't think these goaltenders are going to be getting a break anytime soon, man. Because Florida and Edmonton, both of them love to fire the puck at the net. And I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have another 1, possibly 2 more overtime games in this series. I'm still sticking with the Edmonton Oilers to come out victorious in this. I didn't watch much of the game. This here is pretty much a whole recap on what I've seen, information I've gathered. These teams are ready to play, and it's going to be one hell of a barn burner in the Stanley Cup Finals. So 1-1 right now. Game 3 is tonight, I believe.
What time is
Game 3 is tomorrow at 8 p.m. My bad.
Tomorrow 8 p.m. Tomorrow 8 p.m.
Yes.
Hey, look, between this NBA Finals and this NHL Finals, look, get some popcorn, sit down and watch it and enjoy it, because and I know a friend of the show, Duval Paul, is sitting on his edge of his seat sweating watching his Florida Panthers. So Matty Ice checked in. Game 3 is Monday at 8 p.m. Okay. I'm sorry, because I am I can't get it to come on because I am on the phone. No excuse, but how often do you guys do shows? You know what? As active as you are, I mean, we can rearrange stuff for you just to let me know what time you need to be on. Because you're gonna have your own thing. You're gonna have your own thing. It's like, just be, George Jetson, you know what I'm saying, type thing. The whole intro thing. Jane, his wife, the whole thing. I have a whole intro for you. So you don't even worry about that. You let me know what times you free, and then we'll go off of that.
BJ straight lunching. Straight lunching.
He also said this is entertaining. This is very entertaining.
I mean, we try to be entertaining, as much as we can, and bring you some sports takes, So
Matty Ice said Canadian Brad Markane is going to be a wanted man taking out Toronto, and maybe Edmonton also bringing up the salary next year since he is a unrestricted free agent. And you all have my permission to talk anytime, talk hockey anytime, more than better.
That's mafia code word. Now how the mafia boss be like, no, you welcome to it. You're not welcome to it. You back off. Yeah, that's what that is.
And game 3 is Monday at 8. And also we'll be breaking down unrestricted free agents on the NHL for the NHL on tomorrow's show too. Oh yeah.
Okay.
And with those unrestricted free agents, please let me know how many can come to DC, because Ovi need help. And
you're asking the wrong thing. Who do they need to go? Who do they need to target? Who do they need? We don't need everybody to come. We don't need the early 2000s Washington Redskins, the Dan Snyder open purse era. We don't need that. We need unrestricted free agents that can come here and possibly lift and maybe get to grade 8 one more championship. Who do they need to take them over the top to become a contender and not come up the Reggie Miller in the playoffs. This right here. You know, that, who do they need to get them over that hump? That's what we need to know.
Well, I agree with that. Next up, the College World Series. We had some upsets going on there. Jack, what you got?
Well, we had it going into the game three. It was tied 1-1, Texas Tech. And, everybody's heard about Texas ace, Miss Kennedy, the pitcher with the sub 1 ERA for the season, the $1 million pitcher that they got from Stanford, $1 million NIL. Well, Texas jumped all on this young lady in the first inning. I want to say they got 12 hits. No, I'm sorry. They got 5 runs in the first inning just to open up a can of whoop ass. And Texas didn't look back from there. They totaled the game with 12 hits and 10 runs. And pitching for Texas was Tegan Caven. She had a great performance. I mean, she went 7 innings, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 Ks. Both of these girls, I want to say Naja Kennedy has pitched over 200 innings in this World Series alone. That's unreal. But the stress on the arm versus a baseball pitcher's overhand is totally different on a female pitcher's windmill approach to pitching. So there's less strain on the arm. That's why they can throw more innings than, say, the men. So Miss Kennedy gave it everything she could. Texas just came out too strong. Maya Scott, 2 for 3 for RBIs for Texas. She led the way. Reese Atwood, the big catcher they got, she still was, taking care of business. She's the young lady that was being intentional walked in that tight game in game 2. And she poked that intentional ball through the 5-hole to win the game for Texas. So Texas Tech, man, they're a young team, and they weren't even expected to be here in this College World Series final. They were the lowest ranked team. They would have been the lowest ranked team to win a College World Series if they did. So good job to Texas Tech. Kennedy is coming back for one more year. They kicked her another mill. So let's keep an eye on what happens with this Texas Tech team next year. Maybe they can get some more bats and hang with the Texases and the Oklahomas of the NCAA world. So congratulations to the Texas Longhorns for winning their first national championship in softball. That's what I got, Dallas.
Jack, I got a question for you. I'm not well versed in women's softball, so they have the same pitcher every game.
They can.
So would it not? I really think it gets to a point where I know it's underhand, but it's some type of fatigue has to come in. And she gave up 4 straight 1-out singles in the first inning, and that's just like after a while, anything you do after a while, you get fatigue on it. And I know it's not the same as a regular pitch, but do you think fatigue played that factor in any way? Would you do a 2 or 3 pitcher rotation? I mean, like, don't get me wrong. When you in the championship, you want to bring out your big guns, but if you got a 2 or 3 pitch rotation, maybe even a 2 pitcher, and you save her for this game, do you think maybe if she had rested a little bit or half a game, that maybe she would have been fresher coming out?
Yeah, all that's possible, BJ. But when when your back's against the wall, I don't know, man. Texas Tech was up 1-0 in the series. So yeah, game 2, maybe they could have let Kennedy get a little rest, but that's the way they do it. And after the season she had, her ERA is .91, so she gives up less than 1 run per 9 innings. I I think you got to throw your best, and that's exactly what Texas did. They threw Caven at Texas Tech, so it was the Caven Kennedy show. Um, yeah, it always puzzled me how softball pitchers don't have pitch counts or many limits on how many balls they can throw and how many innings they can pitch. So uh, yeah, I think they just had to go for broke and pitch your best pitcher every game until it just didn't work out. And then that was the first inning of Game 3. Texas just jumped all over it. She finished that inning, but they made a pitching change in the second. So yeah.
Man, a couple of comments real quick. JoJo checking in, say finally made it. Good to have you, JoJo. Ben Conti said, I heard the people at the coffee machine last Friday and they heard someone mention the Thursday night throwdown. Yeah.
We had a guy that used to do that, but who knows where he is.
Matty Ike said caps have cap space. Oshie and Lindstrom coming off the books. You have about 10 million in cap space. That's good. Ben Conti, Miss Kennedy re-up with Texas Tech. And Mia Scott played on one ACL. I saw that picture. She said, I only need one. I was like, oh my, you are an animal.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful to see. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man, what else we got? I think that's about all we got around the sports world right now. Something we talked about. I think we talked about it Thursday. B, you weren't here. They were talking about in the news. They were talking about Terry McLaurin being upset about the contract situation here in Washington and not getting a contract so quickly. And then the reports came out the next day that Terry's not upset. He knows he's trying to work out a long-term deal. They just trying to get the guarantees right. The money's there. They want to make sure everything's right. I remember the last time we talked about Terry getting a contract. You yourself, the Midnight Rider, you guys like he's not going to get top 3 money. And I told y'all he's going to get top 3 money because he is a top 3 receiver. Look at what he's done with no quarterback and he got top 3 money. So what are your thoughts on this right now?
So what is he unhappy about? Why am I?
BJ.
Yeah, you're sideways there, brother.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm having little technical difficulties. But what is he unhappy about?
Well, the word is that he was frustrated with the Commanders because it's taking so long to get a deal done, and they say that it's taking so long because they're so far apart on guarantees. They want to get the guarantees right.
I mean, I can understand that because it's one of those things where he was also a professional. Never complained. He's always 100% on the field. So now take care of me. We shouldn't be miles apart on guarantees and stuff because you've seen other deals get done, and it's one of those things, there's a couple players in the league waiting for deals to get done that the team just seem like they don't have any interest in doing a deal. And one of the sack leader in Cincinnati, the running back in Buffalo, it's a couple players. But it's just one of this team has been bad for so long. Then you have this season where everybody's on cloud 9 and you have the cap space. That's the thing. The Commanders have money. So it's just like, even if you, quote unquote, overpay Terry, take care of Terry. Because he was here when he didn't have to be here. He could have asked for a trade with all the quarterbacks he's been through and the cloud over the franchise, the name, everything that's went on here. He could have been like, I'm out of here. This is too much. But he didn't. He stuck around. So then give me some type of loyalty bonus. Unwritten stuff. Pay me for my loyalty. Pay me for being a leader on this team and being professional, and it means a lot. Like, we players get in trouble and this, that, and other. Terry ain't got no trouble. Terry, community, you name it, leadership, everything. He's everything you want. Your face of your friend. He's been the face of the franchise for a long time. Terry
Mm-hmm.
McLaurin, and it's just like, all right, pay me, take care of me. So I can understand where some of the frustrations coming from. And I always say this, unfortunately, you have to understand the business side also, where it's just one of them things you got to make sure you protect the dollar. The dollar's coming in. You want to, do they feel like they want to pay him that? It's a lot of questions. Hopefully, this gets done sooner than later, and when this isn't something that's dragging on, and it kind of one of the things where it turns Terry off, and Terry wants to go elsewhere and find his money. So hopefully, it doesn't get to that. But this should have been done, man. This should have been done. This should have been knocked out. Um, I'm not a salary cap expert, a salary or contract expert, but I'm pretty sure you can make it where, it's good for him, good for y'all. So if something happens or production goes, out of the tank, which I don't think that happens with Terry. I don't think he gets the money and it disappears into the abyss. You can get out of it. But this is something that shouldn't be dragging on with Terry McLaurin. It just shouldn't.
Well said.
JoJo said he going to be top four. In my opinion, he got to make more than DK. I think he's going to be top four. He wants his contract done. It should have been done. This is understandable. We shouldn't be confused on Terry for money, on money for Terry, and this should have been easy. I think that the problem is, I don't have a problem with the money. I don't think the money's the problem. I think it's how much is guaranteed. Because if Washington says we want X amount guaranteed, and Terry said, well, I want X amount guaranteed, you got to find some way to meet in the middle. And I feel more confident with this regime and this front office than I did with the Kirk Cousins thing. Because when they were giving Kirk, they were trying to figure out what number to pay Kirk. I'm like, okay, if you paid him 16 last year, he wants 20. Give him 18. Meet in the middle, give him 18, and then make the payments, incentive based like you do everything else. Give him a great guarantee and then make it incentive based. So everybody wins. They couldn't do that. They kept franchising. You let them walk for nothing. You let them walk for nothing. I think that was the most egregious use of the franchise tag I've ever seen. I don't want to see that happen to Terry. I don't want to see Terry get franchised because this is the last year of his contract. I don't want to see him get franchised. But now, this contract's not going to be any longer than maybe 5 years because Terry's turning 30. This is his 30 year. He's turning 30. I'm not saying he can decline because if you think about it, I think after the age of 35, Jerry Rice has over 12,000 receiving yards. And he has more receiving yards after the age of 35 than most players have in their whole entire career.
That's because he was playing plumbers and firefighters.
Well, yeah, you gotta put that in there because there wasn't nobody out there to check him. He was the biggest thing out there. So that's a crazy argument. Why is there never an argument in football, but it's always an argument in basketball?
Let me say this. You lose money with Terry. You don't meet Terry in the middle. I just think that, and the players say it all the time, it's no loyalty. Terry's been loyal. I don't think you meet Terry in the middle. Of course, you can't give him $60 million a year, but he's been up there. Maybe, he's not as bang bang as Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, but he's been up there as far as production. Give him his money. Give him his money. He's had to deal with 100 quarterbacks. Everything he has to do. Give Terry his money. Give Terry his money. Make it reasonable. I just feel like if they're that far apart, that's kind of troubling. And 30, I get it, but Pay this man.
I don't see Terry deserving top 4 money. Top 10, maybe, but not top 4 money.
You said it, Jack, not me.
We really gonna
I
go
see
there?
mine.
We really gonna go there?
It's just spitting the truth.
Midnight Rider said, deadlines make deals. Terry's age and the number of years are the sticking point. I can agree with that. JoJo said, I'm with BJ no matter what trash QB y'all had. He was still 1,000-yard wide receiver. He only had one season where he didn't have 1,000 yards. He's been over 1,000 yards every year of his career.
What is 1,000 yards nowadays? 1,000 yards ain't what it used to be.
1,000 yards receiving is still top. 1,000 yards rushing is not what it used to be.
I don't think either are. 17 games, man. 18 games.
Maddie said, deal would get done. It sounds like agent talk. He doesn't need to be in camp right now. And JoJo said top 10. Wow. I'm with JoJo because if we looking at I got the receivers pulled up. So
pull them up. Jefferson and Addison both better.
He's last year was 82 for 1,096. And then the top guy was, of course, Jamar Chase, 127 for 1,700 yards, 7 touchdowns. Terry had, I believe it's 13 touchdowns, 12 catches over 20 yards, 5 catches over 40 yards. His longest was 86 for 60. I'm trying to find the average per game, but I don't see it. He had 117 targets. Yak for McLaurin was 292. That looks. Let me get the thing. I think that looks low. Yeah, that's at the bottom. He's not even on the list in the top 20 when it comes to Yak.
Yeah, because he was catching and getting tackled.
So I mean, but like I said, yeah, even with that, he, like. It should just be some type of loyalty bonus. And I know you can't give money away because that's not how you run a business. But just take care of, even if it's on a nice little guarantee. I don't know what Terry's looking for as far as years, but they gotta knock this out. So,
well, JoJo said he got to make more money than DK. DK right now is the 4th highest with a contract, and that's at 131 a year, and it's an average of 32 million a year. I think Terry's better than DK. I think he's better than Brandon Ayuk. I think he's better than T. Higgins. I think he's better than Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore, Devontae Smith, Nico Collins, Michael Pittman Jr. Those are all of the receivers that are in front of him. Mm-hmm. So I think Terry is our guy. He is the loyal one. You got to reward that loyalty. This will be his last big contract. But this one right here should take him off into the sunset. It should be something that takes him into the twilight of his career. And he does, he does, the things where he becomes an alumni. Now, Midnight Rider said 13-7 are his top TD totals. But we know why. Last year was the first time he had a quarterback consistently. Come on now. JoJo said for the team, yes. For that team, yes. We're talking before it was 16 games, 1K. Come on, Jack. Matt said Addison, Chase, Jefferson, St. Brown, Nakua are all better than Terry. I don't know about Nakua because Nakua had a fall off last year because of injury. I'm just gonna say, and I'm just gonna say that. And JoJo said Terry is better than DK, who was making 33, or pay him the 33. And Midnight Rider said his best season is 1,100 yards. JoJo said, "Yup, Jack Weiler." Midnight Rider said Jack has an argument. And Maddie said Jack is right. He is top 10, guys. It's gonna be a hell of an argument, boy.
Some people listen to me, some people don't.
Mm.
You monster, BJ.
I know we got to get out of here, running on time. Jack, have you talked about the AUSL at all?
AUSL.
Athletes Unlimited Softball League. It just started. It's sponsored by MLB Women's Softball
Oh,
Professional League. Have
yeah.
you seen that?
Yeah, I seen a little bit. I don't have info on it, but I think
Okay.
that's a great thing for the women, man. That's a great thing.
Okay, I'm gonna try to see if I can catch up with a couple of games. They got 2 games today at 2, and then 1 at 5.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just I want to throw that out there. We'll try to get some more information on that. But
Yep.
guys, we had an hour and 11. The boss is on here today. I got to put timestamps on things, and we got to start tap dancing out of here. Get the top hat. We could be the WB frog and start dancing and stuff.
All right, well, let me get through these comments and we'll get out of here. Joe just said, "Nah, Matthew, I'm taking Terry over St. Brown," and she said, "That's just me." You guys are doing a good job. Jack and the big guy are having the negotiations on the show. Well, we supposed to. JoJo said, "Get the Flash out, and he's better than Amin Ra." So it's Sunday. What you fellas eating today?
Something that's probably at least 20 proof. At least that's the minimum I'm going for today. 20 proof.
I don't know what I'm working with. I don't think I'm gonna be home for supper today. Probably gonna be eating something out there at the event.
Sounds good. Sound like a plan.
That's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to figure it all out, but that's where I'm at right now. So
is everybody in? Are all 3 of us in on this field trip today?
Oh yeah, me and the wife will be there. You said about 3. You said about 3 o'clock.
I'm shooting for 3 o'clock. I'll probably get a decent parking spot. I heard parking's a bitch, but I got the handicapper joint, so I'll be up in the front row with Bob Euchre. But I think we can just communicate with each other as we're starting to head out, and then we'll figure out where we meet up, and we will go from there, guys.
That sounds like a plan.
It's gonna be fun.
Well, you know, I was thinking about taking the work truck and just parking on the grass somewhere. Turn the lights on, but like, now I'm working.
Put the beacon on.
Yeah.
I used to do that.
And I'll have to be the Karen. Excuse me, man. I had to be recording. Excuse me, are you supposed to be here? What are you doing? What are you doing?
You need to leave.
You need to leave.
Nah.
Midnight Rider said he had the salmon and rice. That ain't bad. How you cooking that salmon is the question.
Audio. We got to get that.
Maddie said supposed to go to a ball game, but weather is crappy, so we have to go to Plan B. All right. So with that being said, it's about time to wrap that shit up, B. Thank you all for joining us. Man, this has been a wonderful show, man. A lot of good dialogue. Sad to see we got to get out of here at 1:14, man. Damn, I thought we had at least another 30 minutes to go. But all right, cool. You know, the boss said you got to act right. So for the gentleman Jack, the boss BJ, for the Midnight Rider, JoJo, Maddie Ice, Lee Ice. Who else is in the comments? Who else did I miss? Did I get everybody? I think that was everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that guy Ben Conti. Thank you, sir. So for everybody that was in the comments, thank you. Mr. Ben Conti, have your people call our people. We can see what we can do. But we don't do no overtime, y'all. Apparently, because the boss said so, he ain't signing off on it. But we are out of here.